Hey Hood is Try TV. Is that the name? Welcome to Survivor Sundays. Hey Her Beautiful. I can't see all of the names that are popping up. True Gemini. Hey Kasha. Felish_12. So today is Survivor Sundays. Each Sunday in the month of October, I will be talking to a different survivor. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where we continue to spread the word about this deadly disease that really tends to hit our community the most, Black America. So my first guest today is Miss Crystal. Let's bring her in. She's a beautiful woman that I met last year when I launched my pillow. Hey girl, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Great to see you
You
in your
also,
pink.
yes, yes, I am in pink. I have a lot of pink
Right.
things.
So it's easy to dress up today. We have
Yeah,
a few people
yeah.
on right now. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, as we all know, October is where we continue to heighten the awareness of breast cancer, specifically really in our community, because like many diseases, they tend to hit us much harder. So I just wanted to take the time to talk to lovely survivors who I've met along the way. It's been a long journey. Many know my story. I
Mhm.
was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 40 after my very first mammogram. Just a devastating thing to happen. And I knew that once I got beyond it, I did want to use my voice to help those who are facing the same diagnosis. So last year is when I met you, when I launched my pillow giveaway, because pillows were so
Mhm.
important in my personal recovery
Yeah,
following surgery. I
yeah.
remember laying in the bed with like 10 pillows, like, oh, this feels so much better. They just brought me so much comfort. So I thought
Hmm.
that would be a great way to kick off my foundation, Cheron She Rose Foundation, website coming soon. But Miss Crystal, you are the aunt of one of my besties, Ariel, and
Yeah,
that's how I got to
yeah,
meet you. So tell us your
yeah.
story.
Well, in 2016, it basically started with a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it began hard for me to sleep on my chest.
Okay.
Now, I was a 38 double D,
Okay.
so I was kind of top heavy,
Okay.
but it wasn't normal
Right.
to feel this pain. So I also do breast exams not only once a month, but almost every time I take a shower. And
Yeah,
it's very important to learn your body.
that's right.
So when I was feeling, I did feel a small lump there. And
And you were how old again?
I was 36 years old.
And typically you
I
don't
was
get your first
36.
mammogram until 40. Okay, continue.
I would not have made it to my first mammogram because when I finally went to the doctor later on that month, it was in December. Well, December 1st is when they found out it was stage 2 triple
Mm.
negative breast cancer, and it's called incursive ductal um,
Situ?
ICD, in ductal carcinoma. It's words that we
Yeah,
usually don't
yeah.
say, basically. So when I found out, honestly, I felt gross. I felt nasty. I just wanted my breast off of my
Mm.
body. I was not looking for implants. I didn't want to do anything else.
Right,
Just have them both removed. I didn't want to take the caution of only removing one and being nervous about, oh, what if it comes into the other one? So
right.
I decided to have a double mastectomy, to have both breasts removed December 28th, which was the day before my 37th birthday. So I
Mm.
basically wanted to wake up without cancer for my birthday.
Right,
And
right.
that's when it began. And then One year I stayed completely flat. I had prosthetics that I received and special bras that you can put the prosthetics inside. And I was on the fence how it looked without the prosthetics because it wasn't perfect, straight line, straight across. It was it was normal. It was human body. It was fatty tissue. There was scars, and I was advised to see the plastic surgeon. Now, when I had the surgery, this is just the breast cancer
Right.
surgeon. She's not a plastic surgeon. So 1 year later, I spoke to a plastic surgeon, and he explained to me that if I did not want implants, I don't have to receive the look of breast
Okay.
again. He introduced me to a deep flap procedure. It's DIEP, where they remove your belly fat or fat from various parts of your body, your thigh or even your back, and attach it to your chest to recreate the feeling and the look of natural breast. And the surgery is very, very tough. It is a very, very tough surgery. You have multiple parts of your body being operated on.
I'm
It
shaking
was
my
a
head
week
because
long
that's the
stay.
surgery I had. So, yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Continue.
It
Yep.
was a week long stay in the hospital.
Yep.
I actually
Intensive
needed
care.
two blood transfusions, which was super scary. Like I'm thinking they're putting somebody else's blood in my body. I'm scared, and
Yeah.
but everything worked out just fine. Just fine. It was a long road to recovery, at least a couple months for me,
Hmm.
but everything was coming along, just fine. And after that, I had a nipple reconstruction surgery, which is they take your own skin and they fold it a particular way to create the little nipple point. And that was, I believe that was same day surgery, in and out. And with the reconstruction, you might have scarring or keloid, and there's always the option of, other surgeries to help get rid of those. But as for, the cancer and the way I feel, I'm glad that that part is over.
Hmm.
It's like a memory that has its good and its bad,
Right.
because you can
Right.
always learn from everything bad. It's a
Absolutely.
great learning process.
What got you through, especially the news that you had to have a mastectomy, then choosing to have a double mastectomy, going through the surgery, going through the second surgery? What really got you through all of that?
100% my daughter. My daughter. That's the only thing that I felt that I need to kick some butt for her,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
my daughter is special needs. She just turned 18 and
Mhm.
she's very, very dependent on me. And, my daughter and then my family. I'm very big on my family. I love all my family and I love being around them. So it's basically, the love of your family and the fight in you to be there.
I can relate to that as well because I mean, if I'm honest, I did say to my husband, maybe this is just how I go out. Maybe this is just it. And he said, wait a minute. We have built this family, these kids. I need you.
Mhm.
So that is a driving
Right.
force, your children and your family for sure. How did
Yeah.
it change you? How did this whole process change you?
Um, Learning to become more aware of my entire
That's
body.
right.
You have to be the number one first responder, so called.
Advocate.
You have to check yourself from head to
That's right.
toe. And also with doing that, eating habits have changed. I don't eat much meat
Right.
anymore.
Right.
I don't eat as much anymore. I actually fast a lot more. And it makes me feel a little bit better because I feel like I'm not putting so much of whatever they have given us in my body. You know, with the GMOs and the fruit and the
Because
vegetables,
that's the
you
thing,
it's
the
still
doctors can't always tell you how you got it. Now, did you have a history in your family of breast cancer?
no,
That was the difficult part
no.
for me too, is that I didn't have necessarily a history in my family either. Diagnosed so
Hmm.
long to have spontaneous cancer like that. Why can't you tell me how
Hmm.
I got it? You just, the answers are
Right.
just not there. But that's great that you
Yeah.
took charge of your health. You're an ambassador of your own body. You're checking from head to
Hmm.
toe and you're watching what you put in your mouth. And that's going to help the
Yes.
cancer not to return. So that's great what you're doing.
Yes. I also stopped smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
It's been 2 years. I'm super
Yeah.
proud. Like,
I'm sure that had to be tough, but you were faced with life or death. So certain things you have
yes.
to do.
It.
What would you say
Yes.
to a woman facing a breast cancer diagnosis today?
Um. Basically, to not feel alone. A lot of people do have family and do have people coming and interacting with them, but they feel on this particular journey, they feel alone because they might not know others that's been through
That's
it
right.
or going through
Yeah.
it. But just to know that there are women out here that bond
Hmm.
together, and they're there to confide in, to cry with, to understand, basically. So you're not alone, whether it's family or friends.
You were so right, because there's a whole community of people like me, people like you. Everybody's
Hmm.
story is different. But up until
Hmm.
the point where I got diagnosed, I couldn't think of one person I knew intimately who had breast
Hmm.
cancer. I didn't. And
Me
then on
neither.
top of that, my specific situation and my specific surgery, I definitely didn't know anyone who was going through that until the very last minute. A good friend of mine
Hmm.
connected me with someone who had the same exact surgery, and I was able to talk
Hmm.
to her the night before my surgery. So it's critical to
Wow.
speak out when you're going through something like this, to be able to connect
Right.
to that community, because that's going to help you so much get through it and not feel lonely, because you're not alone. You're not
Right.
alone.
And when you spoke with her, how did it make you feel? Were you more at ease? Were you
Yes.
more knowledgeable about what was going on?
Well, imagine hearing the news that you had to have a mastectomy and not
Hmm.
knowing what that entails. And literally the night before the surgery, I was able to talk to her. And she's one of the ladies I'm going to talk to for Survivor Sundays too. And we were pretty much the same age. We had a lot in common.
Okay.
And she was able to tell me about the surgery step by step. And a whole load just came off of me. I felt so much better, more confident,
Hmm.
that I knew what I was kind of facing, you know? So that was
Yeah.
very, very critical in my story, to be able to
Hmm.
talk to someone the night before I had my surgery. And along the way, there are
Wow.
different people, like my mother. I put off my call, sorry. She's the one that told me to be sure to go in and not waste any time. And if I would have wasted time like you, would I be here today?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was very beneficial to be able to hook up with someone like that. And then even when I talked to you a year later, the journey continues. It doesn't just stop after surgery. So even when I
Yes.
connected with you
Yes.
last year, and you and I had so many similarities in our situation, that brought me comfort as
Hmm.
well. So thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, and thank you for being there. The pillows were such an amazing idea because it's not even a normal little square
Right.
pillow. It's a special shape, and it took a special person to think of that. And I appreciate you for it.
Thank you. So this year I'm
Hmm.
launching brand new custom pillows. These are heart shaped, and you can wear them in the same positions as the pillow that you got. And I'll send you one too. But these
Oh,
actually have a
thank you.
pocket where you can put either a warmer or an ice pack as well. So it's real soft on one
Wow.
side and it's cotton on the other. And I'll be doing another pillow giveaway this month. So Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So there's something that you're doing too. You have a social media platform dedicated just to those survivors, a community. You want to talk more about that and how people can connect with you?
Yes. Basically, when going through this, I was feeling very insecure about how friends or close family, close friends would feel about me talking about it, expressing how I feel, even the most gruesome pictures.
Right.
So, in turn, I created an Instagram page that mostly devoted to my journey from beginning up until now. And it's basically there for a lot of people that have been through the surgeries, about to go through surgeries, going through breast cancer, going through chemotherapy, and it's basically like a safe place where you're able to come and talk about everything. You can sit and stare and cry,
Right.
and it's like we
That's
understand,
right.
you know.
That's right.
So that is a completely separate page that I just like to keep
Right.
separate for, those other survivors and those other fighters. Not
Oh, she paused.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, it was just basically there for, the men and women who are going through it. There are a couple people that are not, but some of them are actually friends and family and close relatives of survivors. And this kind of helps them get another inside look at what they could be going through.
Let's talk about that too. Those supporters. Sometimes they have it the worst because anyone
Mhm.
who, and I'm talking caretakers, who drain the drains, who set out the medication every few minutes or hours or so, who see you go through that. I mean, that has to be the most devastating thing, first of all, to go through, but to witness a family member. My caretakers, I had two, my mother and my husband. Who was your caretaker?
A lot of the time it was my younger sister
Mm-hmm.
who she took the drive and sit for
Yeah,
hours through chemotherapy with me. Another is my brother and his family who would actually come over once in a while and clean my
that's right.
house while I was glued to a
Mm-hmm. They
chair,
couldn't get out.
so it was mostly
Yeah,
family, that maybe I can just go their house and eat dinner for the night.
yeah,
Don't worry about
that's
cooking.
right.
So I was very, very close.
I have to get this site or phone number and get it out. But the woman I told you that I spoke with at the very last minute, who I'm going to speak to one of these Sundays, she actually gave me a contact for house cleaning. I was able to get my house cleaned twice during my recovery for free. So
Mm,
there are resources out
yeah.
there that can really help those because when you are laid up and you cannot even walk, you're not going to be able to cook. You're not going to be able to
You're
clean.
not thinking about
Right.
cooking.
So God bless
You're probably trying to hold down
right.
something that you ate from
Yeah.
yesterday. Like,
So God bless all those caretakers and all those organizations
yes,
who pitch in as well. It's great.
yes. I love you guys. I love all of you,
Mhm.
and I thank you so much.
And I do want to commend you for having that community. I know when I was first dealing with this, I didn't want to be the face of it. I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to get beyond it and move on with my life. I had a couple
Mm,
thoughts like, what did I do to myself? I blamed myself for it. It was a lot of guilt. I mean, at that point, I was newly married. I had a 2.5-year-old son, a 9-month-old daughter. It was just
mm,
overwhelming. But once I got to a certain
mm,
place, I realized I have a voice, I have a story. And there's a quote that I discovered: share your story, change a life. And that's what we are doing one by one by one. So I want to commend you for
mm.
sharing your story, having the courage to share
Thank
even the
you.
details of your short story like you did, because
It
someone
is tough,
else will benefit from that and realize, you know what? I'm not alone. Mm.
right? Right. It is very tough. You feel very like everyone's looking at you weird
Yeah.
or feels weird, and you just have to just say, you know what? This is what I've been through.
Did you
That's
go
it,
through
you
that? Did you
know?
go through that where when I started to talk about the type of surgery I had, I would look at people as I would talk to them, and sometimes they were looking at my breast and not looking at my eyes. I'm like, okay, they're not focusing on what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They're trying to figure this whole thing out. That's really
Yeah, it's like
uncomfortable.
as soon as you
That's
mention
right.
it, it could be somebody new, like I am single and dating, but that's something that I'm honest about. And
Yeah.
as soon as you mention it, it's like,
Right.
you know, but it's like you can take it or
That's
leave it,
right.
but now with the reconstruction surgery and the nipple surgery, people are expecting a blank
Yeah.
slate. They're not expecting actual breast or that looks like nipples, and I also had them tattooed. So no, those are really, did you? It's like, yeah, I fought through that.
These reconstructive surgeons are amazing. They'll have you looking better than
Yes.
you did before.
Oh, yes, yes.
For
Especially
sure.
when I found out, hey, that little belly you got? Let's take it away and use it for some
That's
good.
right.
And I'm like, thank you, belly. Okay.
Belly be gone.
Thank
If
you,
I have to
belly. And
go
if I
through
didn't
this,
have that belly, I wouldn't have had this
that's
opportunity.
right.
So I'm very grateful for my belly.
If I have to go through all of this hell, at least let me come out of it with a flat belly.
Yep,
Right.
yep. And you have to work with it because I've learned that flat belly can still blow up during
It is
so
reversible
you
depending
can't
on
just
how you handle yourself, what you put in your mouth.
man, you can't just relax. You got to keep it
That's
going. And that's
right.
another thing. Exercise,
That part.
exercise definitely
That
helps with
part.
depression. It helps with your
That's
energy.
right.
Exercise definitely helps and give you a little bit more confidence,
That's right.
you know.
That's right. So,
Mhm.
what is the name of the Instagram page one more time?
Oh, it is Life with BC.
Okay.
I'm gonna type it in the
Okay.
comments.
Life with BC. And you can also follow Cheron's She Rose. I have it pinned there on the live. Like I said, launching a website within weeks. Shout out to my man Ralph hooking me up. I'll give you all the details for him too. He's amazing. Black owned, of course. So he's getting that put together. I'll do a pillow giveaway as soon as all of that is wrapped up. And just you and I together, we're going to continue to spread the word about early detection. Get that
Mhm.
mammogram. But even before you get that mammogram at the age of 40, check yourself. Self checks, I would say starting at 30, because people are getting diagnosed
Yeah.
younger and younger and younger. So,
Yeah, I don't think it's ever too early to
never,
start.
never.
And it could be just as simple as when you take a shower, make sure everything feels normal constantly. Any big changes, you want to check it out.
Hmm. And don't be scared to go and get your mammogram. You want to know what is going on
Mhm.
in your body, good or bad. You want to know so you'll know how to deal with it. If there is an issue, you can catch it early and move on with your life. Because that's what it's all
Yes.
about. Getting past it, moving on with your life, and telling your story. Well, thank you so much for your time, Crystal Jones.
You're
You've been a
welcome.
blessing
Thank
to
you.
know. Like I said, when I met you
Thank
and I
you.
realized how much we had in common, I was like, okay, another sister that knows exactly what I'm dealing with. And that's a gift. That's a
Hmm.
blessing. So thank you very much for that. Another thing, of
I
course, I
thank
want to
you.
mention real quick, Sister Strut. Mix 92.3
Mhm.
Sister Strut is virtual this year. So we're encouraging everyone to walk in their neighborhoods and hashtag us,
Okay.
Strut, Sister Strut Detroit.
Hmm.
At Mix923 FM is the Instagram page or hashtag as well, or handle, I should say. And also, if you donate $20, you'll get a custom t-shirt and mask. And the money benefits Carmanos. We're working to help underinsured or uninsured women get free mammograms. Imagine wanting to take care of your health, but you don't have the insurance to cover it. We're helping them out by getting free mammograms for those who need them. So that's mix923fm.com. I did want to take a couple questions. If anyone has questions, jump in. My husband says, great job. Thank you, baby. And you know, that says a lot because the lines are playing right now. And my boo took the time to check in.
We appreciate that.
Right. And he says both of you. So he's shouting you out too,
Thank
Crystal.
you. Thank
and then
you.
my mother jumped in as well. Marlita, my girl, she's one of the women survivors that I'm going to speak with this month as well. Selfless Ways. Hey, how you doing? There's a lot of people who checked in and out. So I started shouting people out a little bit earlier. T Villa, how you doing? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm shouting as many people as I can. I'm going through the comments. You hear my daughter? Yes, I'm almost done, sweetie. I told them, be real quiet. I'm going to do this live real quick. They're doing the best they can. Hey, boo-boo, I'm done. Okay, Crystal, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
We're going to continue to spread the word all month and year long. I'm looking forward to continuing our relationship as well. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Any last words?
Just let everyone know that they're not alone, and in particular with whatever you're going through. You are not alone. We're human. Things happen.
That's right.
But you have to make the best out of everything.
Survivor Sunday. See you again next Sunday at 2 p.m. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.